All right, fellas, today we're back with another video on the Bets channel. We have literally everybody on the couch. First time?
First time?
Yeah, you?
No, not my first time.
First time.
Big time.
Thoughts? All right, we're doing a little game today to kind of work into the NFL season-long props. Underdog has released a ton of them. Now we have a pretty good sample size. So we're going to do a game. It's the same thing at Jesus Christ. Fellas, dial in.
You dial in.
It's the same thing as a keep trade cut in Dynasty, but we're gonna make it a fade, take, or stay away. So either you're gonna fade the line, go with the under, take it, go the over. We're just gonna completely stay away from it for whatever reasons, and we'll get into that. All right, first guy up. You guys ready? Whiteboards dialed. We have Marvin Harrison receiving touchdowns set at 7.5.
I'm betting on every one of these.
Okay.
Literally never been one I've stayed away from.
Everybody's a play for Nick.
Literally so easy. Higher or the lower is going to hit.
No, yeah, I agree.
You're not going to make money
You can't
by
get
staying
anything
away.
staying away.
Exactly. I'm shooting every time.
Respect.
Fuck up.
Confident in everything. Everyone got their answers?
Yeah.
Flip them. Lower, fade, so lower, and then higher.
I'm going higher.
All right.
I don't feel
Interesting.
good about it,
I'm
but-
also on the lower, so I'm with the pack here.
a good
Tony,
line.
you want to discuss why you're on the higher?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think about Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, their rookie years. I got to imagine.
The thing is, I thought about the same thing, and like Jay Jettas isn't a touchdown guy.
Right. That's how I went to.
Isn't a touchdown guy.
I think he's
Lamar,
going to have
for
similar season. I think he's going to go for like 1,200 yards. I don't like the touchdown number, though.
I don't really either. I just kind of think that, like, between him and McBride,
Brother, it's McBride season.
You're also
Sure,
in my
it
head
is
on
so
McBride, where
McBride
like I'm
season.
convinced.
Like,
Oh,
it's
it is, but
100%.
he can't be like the only red zone
no,
guy.
you literally can, though.
So what? He's going to score like 20 touchdowns this season.
20 tugs?
Probably.
10.
I think he'll easily be over the 10 mark, though.
Michael
McBride
Wilson
is a
also ain't getting
monster
enough
down
hype.
there.
Who's not?
Michael Wilson.
Thank you.
Michael
Yeah.
Wilson.
My only worry would be they're probably going to use him on end zone fades, jump balls. That would be like the D-hop role almost.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my only concern. But in the same aspect, I feel like they're just going to keep doing hitch routes. McBride.
I also think there's a
McBride.
couple outs, so like there's still a chance the Cardinals could suck ass.
No, 100%.
They can be bad. Marv can score from deep, though, too. Like, he can be a problem from like 40 out. But Kyler's also on the goal line. He's going to run a little bit. Yeah. I just think, like, watching Trey down there, though, I think the majority of their red zone plays are going to be, or goal line plays that are passing are going to be drawn around him.
They also had a majority, looking at the numbers, they had majority of snaps in the red zone of within 5 yards were all run plays.
Yeah.
It was, I think, 89%, whereas James Conner, dive, hit.
I've also seen on some other books where he's at 6.5. So I
Yeah.
feel like underdog's a little inflated right now. I think there's some value on the lower.
Lower.
All right, Tony, get faded.
I can be convinced either way. I mean, it's not a line I really like, but
If I had
starting-
to guess who the next player was, I'd say Brock Bowers.
I just accidentally scrolled. We're going to start with more rookies here. Next player, Brock Bowers, the receiving yard prop, 650.5 yards.
oh man.
This is hard.
This
Never
one's
seen
tough.
an easier line in my whole life.
This used to be like 700.
Yeah, it started high.
Be honest, I'd be staying away from all of these.
Yeah.
You can stay away. Like, it's an option. We can write a, like, you don't have to take them if you're not
We
confident.
need to build slips.
We need to-
Building my all rookie slip.
if we're trying to make the most money, I don't want to be placing
many-
stuff
okay,
you're not confident on.
How many yards did Sam Laporta have last year?
I think like 800.
800?
He had like 800. Kyle Pitts as a rookie went for
1,000.
He went
Keep
for
going.
1,000.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I don't remember the
I
other.
don't
T.J.
know.
Hawkinson as a rookie probably went for like.
I think it's 500.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Not great.
He was more touchdowns.
Kincaid.
I'll give you the answer. It's lower.
though. Yeah.
The answer's fucking
just
lower.
all
It
right.
has to be.
Everyone
there's
lower,
no other
lower.
option.
Okay. Yeah,
away.
I'm also lower. Tony's staying away. That's fine.
Also, like, just the QB situation. Like,
Oh yeah.
But do you think
There's nothing going for Brock Bowers other than, like, he's
His
an
name's
elite
Brock Bowers.
University of Georgia talent.
yeah.
Do you think having like a subpar quarterback in Gardner Minshew almost helps him though? Like I feel like that could be like usually they're safety valves for quarterbacks.
I feel like that would
I
help
feel like.
Devontae Adams more.
That's going to be a
Or
next
like,
thing
Yeah.
for sure.
Like,
Jacoby's still there.
I just think between Adams, Jacoby, and, like, I know Mayer is probably a better blocking tight end, but they also use, like, a super early second-round pick on him. So even if Bowers, like, outperforms him, I still think it's going to be a split in snaps. Where it's like until Brock Bowers is an 80% snap guy, I feel like he's not going to break out statistically.
I could also see, like, Minshew start, like, 2 and 4, and then they throw an 8 in, and there's just nothing consistent going around where, like, you can expect a continual expectation from him each week.
Maybe I think it's gonna be hard for Aiden O'Connell to get in the starting lineup.
Because Minshew's just him.
I don't know.
Even with
if
Minshew though, like I don't like this.
No, I'm complete fade as well.
I also think other books he's at 600.
Yeah.
Flat.
He just needs everything to break right with this line, and 99% of the time in the NFL, that don't happen your rookie year, especially as a tight end. You look at just the overall sample size outside of the past, 3 years, it's just horrific.
He's just gonna play 60% of the snaps for 10 weeks, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Why isn't he playing more? Why isn't he playing more?" And it's just that's what's gonna happen.
This one, I feel very lucky about a lower. All right, one more rookie we have, and then we're gonna get into vets. One of my favorite lines.
Oh, fuck.
Dude,
Rushing line, Jayden McDaniels, 500.5 rushing yards. It's a high bar, but he's a rushing king.
What did RG3 do his rookie year?
I think 800.
800.
Is this not a similar
Second
type beat?
overall.
I feel like that's a very
Second
similar
overall
type beat.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Heisman Trophy winner right before he breaks out.
I'm just worried he might break his fucking neck.
That's my only concern here, and I usually take the lower. I feel like for that reason, because they don't really bake injuries into these numbers, but I don't know.
All right, Tony's staying
I'm just gonna
away.
stay away from all the rookies. To be
Higher,
honest.
higher. All right,
Would you take higher?
higher.
I just feel like their defense is so fucking bad. Sam Howell had 8,000 pass attempts.
Yeah.
Jayden Daniels doesn't have to be good to hit this number.
No.
If they're dropping back for 700 pass attempts on the year, he's probably going to scoot for 500 yards.
I mean, it is also totally new head coach OC though.
Oh, well, you look at Kyler's
It
rookie
was more
year.
their defense about
Kingsbury's
the pass.
Kingsbury's the offensive coordinator there now, and you look at Kyler's rookie year. All he did was scoot. So I'm imagining, and also their offensive line is horrendous.
It's also just Jaden's play style.
Yeah, he's
fuck
one
it.
read and then he's out. Yeah,
Fuck it, I'm running down there somewhere.
no, dead ass.
Their injury scares me, but if we get 15 games out of him, he probably hits this.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You guys both take higher.
Yeah, I think we all did. And then Tony's like, yeah, fuck the rookies. But now we're done with rookies. Moving on to our next guy, Josh Allen's passing yards, 38 hundo.
I'm a fucking bot. I'm a bot.
Are you going to fall for the bait here? What are we thinking?
3,800. How many did he have last year?
So I'm looking up.
4,000.
He's
had 4,000 plus since
All right,
2020.
4,300 last year, 4,300. All right, 43, 43, 44, 45, pretty much.
They know something. They know something,
They know
dude.
Yeah, they're fucking Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis are gone. We all know it.
Gabe Davis, big L.
I mean, between the two of them, that's
No, yeah, I'm just buzzing your.
that's 2,000 passing yards.
They brought in Chase Claypool, though.
That's a difference maker.
MVS.
Do we think we got to imagine though that Keon Coleman, even as a rookie, is probably an upgrade from Gabe Davis, though, right?
Keon
Or
would
is
probably
that
put
kind
up
of a stretch?
What did Gabe put up last year? 700.
Yeah, I think
Keon would
he would be
probably
around there.
But just
probably.
as a talent, as a weapon for Josh
Oh, if
Allen,
you're talking talent wise, yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
I
would
don't
agree.
think Davis is the bait. It's more Diggs.
right?
I also think Kincaid's going to take a huge role this year. Anyway, answers. Let's go. Chop, chop. What do we got? Rocking.
These, I kind
You
of
can, Tony, you can fade the entire list. We can go for 20.
I'm built like that.
All right. Hires across the board. I'm taking the hire. You just can't fade the best
yeah.
quarterback in the NFL
I'm
outside
such
of
a
Patty.
bot.
Life or death. I'm not putting Josh Allen
No one-
at 3,600.
I feel like so there were the few years where Josh Allen kind of struggled as a quarterback without Diggs. He gets Diggs, all of a sudden he kind of has that breakout. He becomes Josh Allen. Is he already solidified as Josh Allen now? He don't need Diggs now.
I don't know.
I think it's also, now that I think of it, when Ken Dorsey got fired, who stepped in? Joe Brady?
Yeah.
Didn't they start running it so much more with James Cook?
touched the ball so
Yeah.
much.
Joe Brady's
They're
always
not
been
going
a
to be
run.
the same offense, but
No.
38 still feels super low for what he's accomplished 4 years in a row.
Got to take the sample size here. Got to take what's on the table.
I kind of think that
He also is just going to throw fucking
I
deep.
think on paper, when people look at this line first, they have that reaction where it's that's so low. I don't really think it's that bad of a line.
No.
do we think because they also dismantled their entire defense. Do we think that kind of plays into a factor? Bills' defense, I feel like historically has been at least decent.
Well, yeah, McDermott is a good defensive coordinator.
Who?
McDermott.
Oh, McDermott.
I feel like most of the guys that they got rid of also missed most of last year. Anyway,
Sure.
So you can kind of look at last year.
I kind of just feel like this
think
might be
you're
a
gonna see
Josh
huge uptick
Allen
in rushing
Yeah,
yards.
it feels like a Josh Allen superhero season.
Yeah, maybe.
Superman season.
MVP loading.
MVP. Yeah,
Yeah.
facts. That's exactly what I was about to say. All right, moving on. Next vet we got up. Lamar Jackson.
my
Polarizing
easy
MVP.
Cookie.
Passing yards. I was so close to putting his rushing, but I was like, all right.
passing
He
yardage.
hit this for like the first time last year.
Got it? Lower, lower, higher. Nikki, I'm also on the lower. Why you got higher?
I just think this offense is gonna like hit their stride, and second year really with all the pieces and the passing offense together. I think this is gonna be his best passing year. I think they're gonna be as smooth as they've been from like a weapon standpoint, where they now have like a real one, I guess, and say Mark Andrews back, Bateman. Anyone believe in this?
Oh my
I'm
God.
so in on Bateman.
So interesting.
I mean, Derrick Henry being there scares me a little bit for the total, I guess, just in terms of like how they're going to run the offense. But like, I feel good about Lamar. Great year last year. I think they're going to be
coming
better.
off his best passing year, and that's why I'm like, he's not going to match that or top it.
Why?
Yeah.
You don't think
It was
he
their
could
first year with
progress?
Todd Monken, yeah.
Yeah, and it went like
And it was
very
their first
well.
year with like normal weapons.
But I think everything went right. Like,
I feel like you
what are
also-
the odds that happens again?
and you have Derrick Henry
Mark
now.
Andrews was like gone half the year. Their running backs were terrible. OBJ was terrible. I don't think everything went right at all.
No, I
I think he played really well because I think that's Lamar
think
Jackson.
my biggest reason I'm worried is they have Derrick Henry now.
Yeah.
Which
That-
is like
that
I
makes
feel like they are going to run the ball a lot. That also allows for a triple option when Keaton's back. He's going to be running like I love his rushing line. This is where
I'd be a little nervous. He might start on the pup.
you think?
Yeah.
Oh, Keaton, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm saying like when he gets back, probably I would say week 6, but that still bakes into obviously season longs. So, yeah, 3 lowers, 1 higher. Tony,
Lamar and Derrick Henry both going for 2K on the ground.
dub.
It's gonna be a wild rush game.
All right, everybody's boy, the favorite in the room.
Oh
I
my
had to add him.
I've done this.
I had to
I've
add
done
him.
3 YouTube videos on this channel now, and they've all had him.
We gotta add him with the boys.
I'm getting tired of it.
Here's what we're
Had to hear Nick's opinion on this line.
Disrespectful.
Dude, it is crazy disrespectful. Like, this is...
It's so disrespectful.
Okay, look, I'm going higher, but this is the biggest
You
trap.
guys talk it out.
This is the biggest trap rat line I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's... I just don't know who's betting lower on this. You know what I mean? Like,
No, there's not
Who
a
looks
single
at-
slip out there.
That's what I mean. Like, you got to be so comfortable with everybody just loading up on the over here. Like, I get it. It's hardball. You don't really have that many receiving weapons.
I think it's as much hardball as it is the weapons, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing with Josh Allen. You get rid of 250
Williams.
targets. That's 300, and
Even
Eckler.
Eckler,
That's
yeah.
300 targets a year, pretty much, that are gone out of that offense. Like, are we really expecting like Palmer to put up 1,200 yards? Like, someone's gonna have to step up in a crazy way. I feel like for him. I mean, not to hit this number, but like 4K or something like that. Ultimately, yeah. There's no fucking way I'm taking the lower on this.
Just.
This is the first one where we're fully agreeing on the higher.
I'm trying to think who's in the wide receiver room.
I'm staying
between
away.
Palmer-
Staying away?
Take away, 'cause I don't want to root for it.
Okay, that's fair. You can't have
Is there any chance that, like...
Like, could Ladd get a 900 piece his rookie year?
Sure.
Dude, he's tough.
Like, literally, who
We're
else?
1/4 of the way. All right, let's add up.
Okay.
I mean, I do...
Hayden Hurst.
Oh my
He's on the
lord.
Chargers?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus, yeah.
Does that change your mind?
Yeah, lower now.
I mean, you do have Harbaugh taking a team with, like, underachieving players for the most part. And, like, he did this with the 49ers, right? Alex Smith was left for dead, and he turned that team around in one offseason. So I kind of don't want to doubt him.
That's like winning, not like just hitting a over.
But, like, how are you... I agree, but...
With their offensive line, I don't see how you just win by running the ball right now. Like,
Well,
I
and with
think
their running backs,
That's
like
the
they're
other
Also,
thing.
too, yeah, they're
You don't-
one. They're
you don't
one
have,
like
their whole team is
they're
fucking
one running back
ass,
injury
dude.
away. Yeah.
like they are.
so bad.
Like, what are they doing? on offense? Maybe this is just a projection of like this is going to be the Woat offense.
This, yeah.
Any chance that, like, McConkey, Palmer, even QJ are kind of, like, all...
QJ coming back?
Is there anyone else? I went through those 30. Am I
they're-
missing
it's
someone?
so bad. It's
DJ
like
Chark, he's a Charger now.
he is. I actually thought that was
He's
low-key
so
a
ass.
cool signing.
I'm trying to like compare them to like another wide receiver room. But any chance they're all like B- wide receivers next year? Like they take
It's like the
Like they
Panthers.
each get
I think-
not
700.
the Panthers.
I think
Although we
Ladd
have
and
a
Palmer
B-
can both go
little.
B minus. I'm not really interested in QJ, but I mean it's like kind of like the Patriots last year, where it's like Kendrick Bourne and
Nah,
Pop
those
Douglas.
guys. Like if the Chargers wide receivers end up being like the Patriots wide receivers, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
They need not to the level of like the Texans, but like
That's a.
They need
But what I'm just bringing up the point that nobody really liked Nico Collins or Tank Dell.
No, it's fair. It's fair.
And then it was like, okay, these guys are kind of cool.
Yeah, so they need Justin Herbert to just step up and make the people around him better.
This is how many?
It's 211.
Yeah.
211 a game.
But his line will never be set at 211.
My logic is that like week 1, they're not going to have 210.5 as his week 1 line.
But if they do,
I don't think it'll be
We're
much
cooked.
higher, to be honest. It'll probably be like 220, maybe 225 or something. And then depending on how he does.
then he comes out and slings 4 hundo first game.
Maybe.
They play again the Raiders, I think.
Okay. Then it'll probably be higher.
Like
Actually,
you
they
also
got
look at that
60 line.
secondary now across the division. Like outside of Pat Surtain being really the only threat, L'Jarius Sneed's out of the way, maybe McDuffie, but like the whole secondary is going to be going against for 8 games of the season is just mid.
Yeah, but I kind of think a secondary is usually just as good as like a pass rush. And like the Raiders now have Crosby, and they picked up
Wilkins.
Christian Wilkins, and they
Yeah,
picked
I
up
don't
a
know if he's
DN.
much of a pass rusher though.
Their first round pick was a DN, no? Raiders?
The Raiders.
Brock.
Oh no,
Brock,
Who,
yeah.
they brought in another DN, I thought.
All right,
I
fair
mean-
enough.
Yeah.
Hires across the board for the boy, for the flow, man.
If anyone out there took the lower on this, can you let us know? And what was your logic behind it?
Yeah, put in the comments.
Jack
why.
and Casey like just swear like on Greg Roman. Like he just doesn't allow that.
He's saying no.
Yeah, it's unacceptable.
Putting his foot down. I can't wait
Yeah.
for.
I do think it's a fair point, though, that, like, you know, historically, Greg Roman hasn't had a quarterback like Justin Herbert. Like, I think that's a fair point, but
Oh yeah.
It's so tough.
I don't
How
know.
long?
We've already spent too much.
What's
on
Roman?
it.
What's Greg Roman's like resume like up
It's
to this point?
Cap and
year-wise?
Lamar.
Just them
Yeah,
two.
that's it.
Really?
And I guess technically Alex Smith.
Next.
Next, can't wait for you to have that kind of hair, J-Mo. I'm excited.
It's gonna be a long time.
It's gonna be a movie.
It's gonna be next year's season long
All right,
props.
next vet we have Joe
Ooh, they raised
Shiesty.
it.
It went up, and that's why I had to put it on the board.
They
'Cause
raised
now it is
it.
polarizing. 4K and 50 odds. Where you at on Joey B. Burrow? T. Higgins
think
is
he's
sitting
getting
out right
hurt?
now. Jamar Chase is waiting for some.
I kind of feel like you have to factor in like 2 missed games with Burrow at this point.
Yeah.
Putting him in the threes is crazy though.
Like it feels crazy,
If you
but like
told
his
me
injury
I
history
get
plus his
16
hand.
out of Burrow, I definitely expected him to hit this.
Yeah, this is kind of just a dice roll on his health.
Yeah.
All right, what are you guys locking in? Take one side. What are we locking in?
I'm a pussy.
I never really want to like bank on injury.
All right, we have a higher. We have a stay away from J-Mo, and we have a higher.
This is usually a line where if I'm like torn, I'd go lower on it.
Or you're taking the higher anyway, even though you're torn.
I can't.
I just think his hand might be. I'm also on the lower. His hand is so
Is
messed
he
up.
injury prone? Is that a
Yeah,
real thing?
I think you just chalk up to him missing 2 games a year, pretty much. I guess my other concern too is their fucking division, dude. The defenses between like Cleveland and Baltimore and Pittsburgh should be good too.
Yeah,
Like,
Pittsburgh
you don't
just
get
got
easy
better.
games. You don't get easy games in that division ever.
No, and the whole like I know it's all hypothetical, but if T. Higgins does not play, you just take a huge blow there.
Yeah.
they also
looking like
lost
he's
their like
gonna-
OC. Like, could that be something?
Yeah.
Could it not?
I
Who
also
knows?
think maybe though, Joe Mixon being gone could mean more pass heavy though, because he's gotten so many fucking carries.
when Zach Moss also just lets him down.
Yeah, I look. Joe Mixon has averaged over 20 touches a game for six years. Like his 6
Is
year
he
career.
actually like just the best?
He might like be the GOAT.
Like holy
He can
shit!
just handle it like that.
Holy Joe Mixon.
That's what I mean. Like if
We're gonna
they
start
don't,
Joe
like,
Mixon
go-
propaganda in the office.
They don't go super run heavy without Mixon. It could be a Burrow year.
All right, fuck. I should have had Joe Mixon to the list. Jeez.
Yeah. I might have been convinced to go lower though.
Yeah.
I'm just
Think?
kind of scared of Joe Burrow not being able to
Is he
play
a
more than
fraud?
like 10 games.
We've been saying it.
He's
In the apartment,
I say
this has been
and
the
he's
talk
gonna
of the
have, like,
town.
one game where he wins, got glasses on after the
And then you're just like, I'm
conference,
so in.
yeah, I'm so
But like
sold.
when Joe Burrow's on the field, what is it that you guys like don't like about him?
No, there's nothing I don't like about him. It's the fact of if he's on the field for me. And also with all these reports saying his hand is still messed up and like we're coming near training camp, that's worrisome to where if he misses even the first game, 2 games, hits a
Like,
hand on the
he'll
helmet.
Post on his personal Instagram of him throwing in practice, like ready for the season. I'm like, are you?
Yeah, like is
Posting
this,
on your own.
what
like,
is
maybe.
this? Taking the lower. Sorry, Toots. Go smoke your cigars somewhere else. All right, next guy. Big rushing prop. here.
Might as well be the Joe Burrow of running backs, dude.
Might as well. So far, has not been injured on the 49ers yet.
I think we're past it. I think we leave in injuries in Carolina. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm going higher.
Okay, higher, lower.
Nah, I can't be taking hires on all these. This is ridiculous. I'm staying away.
Gotta
from
have the
everything.
craziest regular season of our lives. Yeah, that's the right way to go. Okay.
Thought I was gonna write lower.
You wrote love it instead.
Never gonna happen.
All right. What do you want? Higher, lower, actual?
I'm gonna. If I'm making a slip, I'm staying away from.
Okay,
C-Mac.
staying away from C-Mac.
Yeah.
That's fair. Tony, are you actually staying away or are you going higher?
Man, everything in my heart wants me to just fucking go for it.
I got lower. Like
Yeah, you were confident on that.
last year, he led the league in rushing yards, and I think the second most yards was lower than this, which was Kyron. Just like just showing you how good you have to be. Like, and CMC's that good, but do I expect him to still be top 2 in rushing yards next year, especially at that 28-year-old cliff
that's
that people
the-
just hit?
Bro,
I don't
No.
think he'll get it.
I feel like that's ridiculous. CMC's still the best running back in the NFL. In the best system.
Entering this year.
He still was injured. Before the Niners, he was injured 4 years in a row. So that's
fair.
something you
Yeah.
also have to
No,
look
I mean,
at.
there's definitely like injury concerns, especially with the work that he gets.
4 years in a row.
I think 2019 was the only year it wasn't banged up, but he still was
18,
banged.
19, he was like elite in the 2 years. He was. There,
I thought he got banged up in 18 a little bit.
No, there's 2 years that he was hurt.
Oh, shit. I thought it was 18 too. But
C-Mac like that.
If
Damn.
C-Mac's
Maybe
playing
he's
like
not
15
injury
games,
prone?
he's going above this.
Damn.
That's another one where it's like this with Burrow. It's just like I don't.
Did he
It's
get
like,
this,
you're literally just gambling again on injuries.
his peak year in Carolina in 19? Or did he just do this for the first time last year?
I don't know, but that doesn't matter because Carolina's a team that didn't win games.
No,
like they're not.
we
in
just
situations
force-fed him
to
the
run
rock.
Like the Niners are. The Niners win by 3 touchdowns. Like they give the ball to McCaffrey, 22 carries. Carolina's like 4-minute drill, just 5 passes to McCaffrey.
I don't know. This was at like 1150.
Also,
in Carolina, he had 1,387.
So he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Turns out CMC's like kind of good.
That's also his most attempts, though, at the same time. At 287.
I think he's looking thin nowadays.
Oh,
His
really?
bones aren't as strong as they used to be. I don't know if he hasn't been drinking the milk or whatever, but
Right. He also, my other concern would be, last year he did average over 5 yards per attempt. Can you do that 2 seasons in a row is kind of nutty.
But like, why? What has changed from last year?
Wait, how many rushing yards did he have last year?
14 something like that.
I can't tell you.
Okay,
It's right
so
here,
if
pull it
that
up.
drops down to like
It's
4 yards per carry, he's probably
14.59.
still hitting this though.
1459 on 272 attempts, which is the second highest of his career. In 2022, with like half of the season with the Niners, he had 159 attempts.
Okay, so let me hold on. If you're fading this, it doesn't make sense to me that you'd fade this from like a whatever argument sakes you guys are making right now. If you think he's going to get hurt, sure, stay away or take the lower. But like this whole like he's never done it before, so he can't, or like he averaged 5 yards.
No,
per
I
carry
think he's
doesn't
him.
feel-
I mean, I had his jersey, so I think he's great player. But again, I just have questions with the injury risk, and the volume he's getting is insane. So when
But there's no reason the volume would change.
I'm not saying the volume's going to change. I'm saying his body's
the
taking
volume
that
will
much
cause
volume.
injury.
Yeah, sure. No, I agree
In a
with that
back-to-back
point.
years, it's tough. Like, as a former 2 torn hamstring motherfucker, I know it's tough on your body. So, yeah, it's hard for me to look at this
Based
line and
on
be
gut
like,
getting hurt, I'm betting
Yeah.
CMC's going to get hurt.
facts. I would agree.
Feel more confident now.
But I guess in reality, if you're looking at a bet slip, like I would probably just be like, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I would stay away.
All right. Another polarizing veteran coming up. See the name? You like it? How about that line? 7.5 tugs. Russian. Saquon Barkley.
Oh God.
No totals here.
Do you know how
7.5
many?
rushing tugs.
Swift had 3. Hurts had like 15.
Hurts broke the record.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift went like
What did
ice
Saquon
cold.
do in New York?
No, I'm more curious. Like, okay,
That's
so
5. Sorry.
Swift had 3.
Don't disrespect
Oh, yeah,
Swift
5
like that again.
How many did like Boston Scott or Kenny Gainwell get?
Probably not many.
Not many.
Saquon rushing total 2018 he had 11. 2020 that was his most. 2023 at 6. 2022 he had 10. 2021, obviously. In 2020, he was
I mean,
hurt.
to be honest, like nothing that he's done on the Giants, I really would take into consideration here.
But he's been near this line. Is like where it's.
Yeah.
He was at 6 in last year with that horrific team.
He missed time last year too.
Yeah, 14 games played. He had 6.
I think the
only thing that matters is whether the Eagles are like, we're gonna
Tush push or
scale back on the tush push.
So here's
To be honest,
here's the thought.
no Jason Kelsey.
No Jason Kelsey. Maybe they scale back on it then. Jalen Hurts also was dealing with some sort of, what was it, shoulder injury or
I think he was just banged up.
just overall banged up?
You think they
He was
scale
just
that
tired,
back
boss.
because of it?
I think his knee or something was fucking him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he couldn't run in the Seahawks game very well, or some shit happened, or there was some propaganda for that.
I mean, I think there's
Like
a good
he had
chance
to drop back
yeah.
and like he's cooked.
I think there's a good chance that you brought in Saquon to take away a little bit from the tush push. Like you're on the goal line, it's in your bag, but it's not like you have to go for it every single time with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I feel like they haven't had a running back they could really like trust to actually get into the end zone in the last like 3 or 4 years.
I also kind of think Saquon obviously good enough to where maybe they just want to go committee, but like he probably should kind of phase the other guys like Gainwell and Scott out of an offense.
100%. I'm taking the higher as well. I agree with you guys. I think he's being brought in to take that workhorse role and make Jalen be the passer he needs to be, instead of him having to rely on 15 to 20 tush pushes, whatever the hell, to try to get in every time. Because that does take a toll on a quarterback, and obviously we've seen it the past 2 years.
This offense, I feel like, is so sick, and yet is anybody like actually nervous?
What do you think about
is,
Kellen
like,
Moore? Does that change anything for us?
Wait, did he just get there?
He's the OC now.
He's
I
in
like
the OC.
Kellen Moore in Dallas a lot. I thought he was cool as fuck.
He was with the Chargers last year, though.
Also, he did creative stuff to try to get the running backs easy tugs
Yeah, I mean, he made
of
Josh
the
Kelly
of the
him.
pull and the pin pull toss plays at the 1 yard line and all that sort of stuff that I easily could see Saquon getting to where it's easy bucks.
Saquon could also score from like far out too.
All right, Jameson,
Red
you
zone-ish.
considering going back and taking the higher?
No,
You're still
I
fading.
don't know. I'm definitely in like stay away territory, but I also saw what's also like my anchor here. I saw in another book he's like at 6.5, which again I think
touchdown lines, that's huge.
underdogs like really inflates lines to where there's a lot of value on the lowers. So I'm just gonna stick with that strategy.
All right.
I just want to say that
Yeah.
imagine Saquon joins the Eagles like last year coming off their Super Bowl run. How fucking
This line would
Like,
be at 10.5.
dude, how crazy. I feel like there would have been so much buzz in the offseason and like so much optimism about this, maybe more specifically offense. But I don't know. Maybe I'm
Kelsey
just not
the
hearing
only
it.
guy on their line that they lost?
Feels like there should be more buzz about this offense.
I mean,
guess
Kelsey's a
that's what I'm saying.
huge loss though. Like that's can't be understated.
I think there's like a sprinkle of hesitation because of that.
yeah, I mean,
It's like if he's a domino piece that
it's also he made every single call for the line, which like I get. Like a lot of people look at like just him blocking, but like him making those calls and who to double, who to do all that, like that was Jason Kelsey's job. Now that gets delegated to somebody else. How well are they going to do? That is a massive part of football.
I kind of think he's going to come back this year.
Really?
Yeah.
No shot.
Calling that now,
Who
calling your
even
shot.
is the center? Do we know?
Landon Dickerson or whatever.
He's on the line.
I know he was.
guard.
I know he was originally brought in to be the backup center.
Okay.
Back when he was drafted. That's why I'm saying it might be him. I can double check.
He was a guard last year, but I could see him
Yeah.
transitioning.
I want to check this.
That would be kind of lit.
He came back.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
imagine.
Eagles offense down the stretch felt so broken.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it had to do with like you lost Shane Steichen. You didn't
I
really
really
replace
think
him.
Hurts was banged up.
You had Hurts who was banged up.
Their secondary was abysmal.
Yeah.
It is-
But now, like I said, you bring in Vic Fangio, bring in Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
Cam Jurgens
I'm
is
high.
the guy. Dickerson staying at guard.
I'm high on Philly.
Yeah. Tyler Stain is the right guard.
He's out of
Damn.
Iowa, right?
I can double
think
check.
He was like a pretty high draft.
Alabama, yeah.
Second.
He was a 3rd round pick.
Okay, I'm just making things up. Don't forget. I
Tyler
remember the
Stain?
name Steen being drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah, being hyped about it.
That's so funny. The left side of their line is nutty. So I mean, yeah, Saquon just run to the left side, you'll be fine.
He
All
also
right.
played 2 games against the Giants. You know he's combining 6 touchdowns in those 2.
Yeah, all
true.
receiving.
This is basically
Zero rushing.
Lines at 1.5 touchdowns.
All right, a few more here.
Fuck.
Staffy.
This one.
4K. For me, this is a no-brainer. For you guys, might be someone else.
I'm going higher. I ain't even going to write it down.
I'm going lower.
Lower.
I'm going higher.
Nicholas. Wow, 2 fades and 2 highs. First even split of the day. How you
He's getting
doing?
hurt.
Okay, that's the logic.
He's so getting hurt.
All right, fair.
He was so fucking good last year.
Stetson Bennett season? Is that what you're saying?
Fuck that.
How many
No,
yards did he
it's
have
Jimmy
last
G.
year?
Under 4K.
Yeah.
He didn't have 4K last year.
I think
He hurt his thumb.
Yeah, he hurt.
I think he was like really good last year
Also,
in games, but he was so much better than the expectations coming into the year that we're thinking about him in a different light.
Really?
Don't get me wrong, he was
he's
awesome
a fucking
lot of
baller.
times.
I just don't think the passing yards were there.
He had 3,965 yards.
So he was right
in
there.
a complete season.
Yeah,
No,
in
he missed a couple games.
I'm sorry. Yeah, in 2023, that's what he had.
Okay.
I can look at. Let me look at games played real quick.
Who's the back?
15 games.
Jimmy.
So give him 2-3 more games.
He gets there easily for sure.
Yeah, but I don't really want to bank on him playing every single game next year either.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm taking away from Joe Burrow, then I'm doing the same thing with Stafford, and I probably feel less comfortable with him on the field than I do Burrow.
yeah.
It's tough for me. I think I'm still taking the higher either way because I just know he's going to see over 500 attempts. And anytime someone gets the 500 attempt mark, it's really hard for me to fade, especially with an elite arm and the talent they have. And now Puka's like established.
What do you guys think about
And-
Cooper Kupp this year? Are you back on him?
I like him.
I still like him,
Yeah, I'm
for sure.
100%. My only problem is like all the podcasts he's doing makes me weary.
What do you mean?
Just him
Dude,
being
he
a media
talks
presence
funny.
now.
I haven't seen his
Just-
content.
Oh, he's not. I don't think he's making content. He's just in a bunch of like people's like as a guest. He was in the Edelman one. I think he was on the Bussin' with the Boys or whatever the hell. Like he was on a few different ones. Oh, he just seems like a
No,
pretty
he just
chill
has
dude.
like a slight lisp, I feel like. Do you hear it?
No,
Or am I making
100%.
it up?
I don't know if it's a list, but
Hate him.
It fucks me up. I'm like,
he
you
said
clear your throat or something.
he had a
That's just
pretty
how he
big.
talks.
He had a big clip with Edelman where they were talking about how every white receiver is compared to them.
I just saw that. I've seen it
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. So but anyway,
I think
Cup,
between Cup and Stafford, one of them will get hurt.
you think?
Yeah.
So Puka's just to the moon. That's what you're saying.
Puka's,
But
Puka's staying.
he had the draft so high. It's
Puka's so good. All right.
like, good.
I
Thanks.
just feel like Stafford, obviously super talented. He works well with the receivers that he has, and that offense I think just has to throw the ball a lot. Like I don't really like their defense that much. I think it's all right, but I just find Stafford throwing for like 300 every single game at least.
All right. Well, that's
I don't know if he like. I feel like last year he really didn't throw that many yards per game.
Yeah, I'm just making shit
I think
up.
he was just like fucking.
his
highlight
line was
reeling
his
all
line
over
was
the place
always
with
set
Puka.
at like 260, 270. Like that was where his line always was because I took his over a lot. He had one game against the Ravens where his
shot,
line
it
was set
hit
at
a lot.
195, and then he ended up throwing for 300.
Yeah, that game went to OT though.
Yeah, and Puka had the greatest catch of all time.
That's what I mean. Like we saw so many Stafford highlights because we kept seeing Puka highlights.
All right, next guy. We already revealed him a little bit. Rodgers.
I love him so
passing
much.
tugs.
Fuck.
Dude, him and Allen, same exact lines.
Yeah, no.
Is that not
3,800,
nuts?
27 tugs. Where are we at with him? Is he going to play? That's more the question.
He's so good.
I'm going
Lower for Nick.
I'm going lower.
That's so
Only lower.
the easiest lower I've ever had.
Higher.
JMO's so in.
This is like a just straight up. I want to watch him cook.
Okay. I'm also on the lower. I feel like for more logistic reasons than watching him cook. But
I
it's
feel like there is so much there's so much in my opinion to be pessimistic about for this stat.
and I think for this team, low key. Like I
Right.
think this
I
is
don't
going
think
to
you
be
could find a real number that supports him going over.
no, not
Like
at
the
all.
weapons are not there. The offensive line is like they're supposed to be
The
good every
offensive
year.
line gets beat up. They lose at least 2 linemen
Right.
for the past 2 years.
They're supposed to be
This
good every
coaching
year.
staff so due to just.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Who's their OC now?
I think it's still Hackett.
Dude, I do think it's still Hackett.
Yeah.
Like there's just nothing outside of Rodgers.
Just
Is
being
Aaron
Rodgers.
Yeah.
But like he wasn't like his last year in Green Bay, he wasn't even Rodgers. It was a shell of himself.
Yeah.
So it's really tough to sell. I mean, maybe if Garrett Wilson just pops off and turns into Devontae Adams, but like you're relying
Even
on
that, I feel
like you're relying on that to happen for him to hit over. I think the thing that really that like you just brought up is he's the same exact lines as Josh Allen. Like you don't think of them in the same light right now. Like they are not in the same tier. I don't think of Rodgers
think
as an
so.
MVP guy.
Like just strictly passing.
No, like yeah, I don't think they're in the same tier right now.
I mean, like stats? You guys talking about?
Stats, yeah.
Oh, yeah, stats, definitely not.
Like, I mean, obviously, talent-wise, I'm not going to say that's any different, but I'm talking from a numbers perspective. I don't think they should be in the same.
He's just like a high
conversation.
floor, accurate passer right now.
Yeah.
I think it would have to be like a super outlier year of touchdowns for him to
You
get
need
to
a
this
Randall
number.
Cobb breakout type year.
Well, I think if he hit the high on this wouldn't be an outlier.
I think if he hits a higher on this, it's not going to be accompanied by like 4,500 passing yards. Like I think it's going to be I think it'll be games where he goes like 210, but like 3 or 4 passing touchdowns. That's what I mean by outlier.
Yeah. My only thing for taking the higher on this is Breece Hall's going to catch a lot of passes, and
Also, this is
he
like
can break one
such
whenever.
a dumb thing, but like, I feel like Rodgers' ego, like he wouldn't be playing if he didn't think he was still good. If that makes sense. Like
True.
I think he would have called it if he thinks he can't throw it anymore, or play well.
It's your vibe
anymore.
checking Aaron Rodgers right now.
Yeah, I think
I'm not saying I don't think he's going to be like a fine NFL quarterback.
I just think he'd be like
I think 28 is like a higher number than most people realize, though.
100. I could see him finishing around the 25 mark for sure. I think 28 nearing the 30 it's tough for me.
You also got a good Jets defense that could probably control games.
Yeah, I
Maybe don't
think
need
a lot of their
Rodgers for
games are
really
going to be
something like
Breece
that.
Hall in the defense.
Yeah.
Like that's how I see it at least. Now they brought in even Braylon Allen, who's probably going to contribute a little bit on the ground. He's more of a pass blocker that they're going to use,
They're
but
saying he's getting a lot of reps with Breece.
Really?
Not playing OTAs right now. Yeah.
he's so good. He's so
why isn't he
good.
playing? Is he hurt?
I don't know. I think maybe it's like voluntary. He's just not there.
It's like a Micah Parsons
It's like
type
on
vibe.
Breece Hall.
He wants to get paid already.
Diva. All right,
Probably should.
figured that one out.
Probably should pay the man.
Now, this one might be
Ooh.
one of my
I
faves.
feel like Deshaun's line last year was
Polarizing.
27.5 passing touchdowns.
All right, I'm going lower.
Yeah, his lines last year
Ain't
were
no
nuts.
fucking way I'm backing up Deshaun Watson.
Don't even need to write it down. No lower.
But this is the year
That what?
he comes back.
This is the super stay away line.
Yeah.
Staying away.
No, I feel pretty good with the lower.
Lower. JMO higher?
It's too low,
Really?
dude. This is like
If I had to lean one way, I'd go lower too, I think.
You can stay away.
This is his
Nah,
year. Do you remember 2020 Deshaun? That was only 4 years ago.
All right. I'm almost done with this one already. We're almost moving on.
I mean, he
give me
just-
some logic.
Literally
Give
make
me,
that argument for all 4 of the guys.
give me some logic here.
I mean, we've yet to see Deshaun Watson be a good quarterback on the Browns.
Fair.
There has not even been like glimpses of him
No,
being
nothing
who
at
he
all.
was.
And what's crazy too is like I feel like they've had backup quarterbacks, obviously like Joe Flacco step in, and it feels like Kevin Stefanski like really gets the most out of quarterbacks outside of Deshaun Watson.
Nothing
Yeah,
there for him.
he's had like one good game against Baltimore, and that was it.
Yeah.
And even
That
then,
was his last game.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
that's the last thing we
Okay, that
saw.
was the last thing that he did. Now he just needs to do that again for 16 games, and we'll be good.
This man's back is against his wall, and I want to bet on him.
Yeah, his back was against a lot of things.
Yep.
All right, fair. Lowers everyone lower, but JMO.
We could also make the same argument though. I mean, I guess he doesn't technically play the Browns defense, but AFC North, tough division.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was
This is exactly 200 yards a game.
the argument we
I
made
don't
earlier
feel
for
comfortable
Burrow.
betting on him going over that.
Me either.
Even if you knew he was going to stay healthy, like 200.
I see a lot of
If-
like
if you
190
know-
and like 27 rushing yard games. Like
also-
he'll be okay for fantasy, like QB 18 or something, but
I feel like you look at the Browns' weapons too. It's like it's Amari, Njoku
Jerry
could
Jeudy.
break out again.
Judestein,
Enough. I can't.
What do you mean?
No Judestein love
what
around
can
here.
you do?
I just don't.
On paper, they have a cool weapons group.
I think they have a
but they're
cool
just the-
swaggy, but they're all the most overrated people coming out.
Besides Cooper, yeah, everybody stinks.
Yeah, like they're just names at this point of just like big guys that came out of the draft and just didn't do anything.
I will say though, Joe Flacco, like he can't move, so maybe this played into it. But he was throwing the ball like 40 times a game, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was dropping
was
back a lot.
Cooking.
But I
He might have
also
been throwing it 50 times a
Like
game.
his
you know if
4
Nick
game
Chubb's gonna
sample
be
size
back
is on
week one?
pace for 5K.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet on it. He's another
Okay.
one that I think could be a pub candidate.
okay.
Who?
I just asked if
Chubb.
if he thinks Chubb's gonna be back week one.
If Chubb's line right now is set at 400 rushing yards, I would take the lower
Damn.
on the season. There's no higher I would take for Nick Chubb.
There's like
If they put it at 0.5, like a free square, I might not.
So
take
we're
it
taking
higher.
Jerome Ford every single deal or
I
no
like
deal.
Ford, yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of optimism around Chubb though. Like
That's yeah, like
I mean, if you look at best ball or like where he's at and going in drafts,
yeah.
it's like
The video I just put out was like the worst picks. Chubb
Yeah.
was like the last one on it. Like the injury optimism around Chubb is in, like we all watched the injury. He's also like 28, 29.
J-Mo watched
like,
it way more than once.
Like you're talking about C-Mac being 28. Like Nick Chubb is 28 and also has this knee injury.
I'm fading him.
All right.
You sound like you're on.
200 yards a game. That's fucking wild.
All right, fellas.
Oh,
It's a deducted. I don't know what you'd say. This is like a 9.5 spicy.
28.
I don't know what the
He's favored
Is
to go higher.
0.95. 9.5 spicy.
9.5 spicy. You heard me.
What do you have
20
last
and a
year?
half.
23.
23. So we are upping that. Is Stephon Diggs that big of a difference? That's the question. Does Tank Dell stay healthy? The questions. Is Nico like that? Does Joe Mixon play a factor? What do you got for me, fellas?
If I'm getting boosted odds, I'm going to take the lower.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Lower. I'm also on the lower. I just think
This
like
line could have been 20. You would have been.
he
on
is in the
lower.
same enough. I think he's just. I don't know if he deserves to be in the discussion with the higher echelon of guys yet. And Stephon Diggs does not move the needle for me after watching him at the end of last season. I get he's a big name. He has a great past, great history, but like, is he that elite of a receiver anymore?
But he's got to be like, there's no way adding Stephon Diggs is like a negative.
Yeah, I
by
don't
any
think
sense.
I don't think it's a negative, but it would
this
have to
bet-
be. It would have to be that much of a positive for it to go from 23 to 29.
But okay, so like, let's say they didn't add Stephon Diggs. I think he could probably still make this jump just being in the NFL for.
Didn't
another
Stroud
year.
miss 2 games last year too, though?
Yes, I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
I think he did. It just feels like the number's high enough that like the value's on the other side. This doesn't make me feel. I don't feel good about it. Like it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if CJ Stroud threw for 30, but I think the number's too high to start with, just out of like principle.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I can tell you. He played 15 games.
Plus, we know Joe
50
Mixon
complete
had those 20
games.
touches,
Right.
6 years straight.
Goal line goat.
I also like my thought, like I said earlier, is just Joe Mixon. Now they have an actual running back. Does that play a factor? Sorry, Dameon Pierce lovers. Didn't do anything. Singletary was like flashy here and there, but it's like
kind of cool.
he was kind of cool.
Sorry, not
but-
cool at all, but played very well.
Yeah, he played,
Yeah.
but I thought he was always off and on. He was never a guy that you could rely on. To like, if you give him 20 touches, he could either have 20 yards or he could have 150, and you don't know. Where Mixon, you know you're going to get consistent 3.5, 4 yards a carry. Do they lean on that more?
A lot of it, I think, is going to come down to, just what happens at the goal line. It's almost like, I feel like it's the opposite of Rodgers, where I could see Rodgers going low on the yardage and having a couple lucky passing games. Like, I could see Stroud throwing for 4,600 yards, but having 25 touchdowns. Just like if they go, near the goal line and just don't throw the ball,
Yeah.
mix in.
This has got to be one of the like best offenses in the NFL, in my opinion.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you
100%.
You got Bobby Slowick. You got another year of C.J. Stroud. You're adding Mixon. You're adding Diggs. Like,
It's just about what they do on the goal line, it feels
Yeah.
like.
yeah.
100%. And J-Mo, he's tearing his ACL right though, so it don't
That's
even
true. I
matter.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
You're calling for a C.J.
Injury-
Stroud ACL.
Yeah, just 'cause
Our
the
hype.
hype.
You know how
Our injury predictions of this year.
I feel like regardless of
I've
what you
thought
actually
about-
think of C.J. Stroud, NFL as a product would take such a big hit if
Oh,
C.J.
wow.
Stroud
for
wasn't
sure.
there.
I thought about making a TikTok like, here 5 guys are guaranteed to get injured this year.
Injury
But
news.
that's like such an awful video to make.
Yeah.
Such an awful
But,
video
like,
that
if
would
I
get
put
like
CJ
2 million
so fake
views.
mad at
Yeah,
it.
but it would probably do very well.
It'll do so well.
Let us know in the comments who you think's gonna get injured this season. All right, have a few more guys. Few more. Amon Ra St Brown. We can fire through this one. I feel like
That's so high. He might be the
1,500
greatest,
last
though.
year though.
No, he's
Just signed a giant contract. No real added weapons.
What's this, like 70 a game?
What do we mark it up to? 78. We did the math the other day. I think it's 78.
See, like, if I remember at least the second half of last year, his line was definitely above 78 yards in a game.
Oh my! It was at 85 every game.
Yeah.
And
like
then
he had
by
like
the
a-
end of the season, it was at like 90.
He had like an eight game stretch, I feel like, where he just went for like 60 or 70 yards, though.
Oh
But he's
yeah.
also so capable of hitting like 140, 150, 160.
Yeah. He also had multiple games towards the end where he was just over 100. Bang, 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 bang.
I just think
I hate you. Next.
Oh, the
he
number's
gets,
high.
he
It's
gets
so
so
high, dude.
many targets and so many receptions every game.
But it's like before last year, he was still a very, very good wide receiver and didn't hit this. Like,
Before last year?
yeah. Like
I mean,
this,
he took the normal steps, I feel like.
Yeah.
800, 1100, 1500 for like an elite receiver. You
Yeah.
just kind of like climb the ladder.
I'm taking the higher on this.
I think
I
I
just
would
don't
lean
think
that
he
way,
has a.
too.
I just don't think he has a 300-yard drop with literally adding nobody. At least nobody of name value.
I just think that fucking run game is going to be so centric.
But I feel like he was so centric last season too. And he
Gibbs
still-
going to the moon.
I feel like he still was able to persevere through the 30 carries plus that these backs were getting.
I'll go higher. I also feel like with slot guys like him, kind of like Lockett, where I almost feel like they're less prone to get injured just because they're just like taking short passes and then falling down over the middle,
Going out of
type
bounds
thing.
or
I can see the Lions make like a trade deadline move.
just get him out of there.
Push the chips in the middle, like week 6. Like, fuck it, we're going for
Diggs
it.
is complaining. Let's just trade for him.
He's complaining back. All right,
Johnson
Tony.
wants out.
No concerns about Jared Goff. Like Jared Goff solidified good quarterback.
Super high floor.
Solidified
Yeah,
of getting it done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't
That's like
really-
my thought.
It's almost like the pieces around him are so good that like they're like the game elevators.
Yeah.
They elevate him up.
Could another year of like Laporta, Jameson Williams.
I think that might be the
Gibbs.
sneaky part of the equation is like, what if
Jameson
Jameson
Williams?
Williams is like kind of good? He doesn't even need to be that good. What if he
Oh,
goes
yeah.
for like 800 yards? You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, fair.
that would eat into
I feel like
the
that
work.
would. I feel like that would low key help him though.
Maybe.
Because that like he was double at the end of last season. He was doubled almost every play. They would have a safety over top
Yeah,
and a
fair.
corner on the inside.
Who's their wide receiver 3? It's not still Josh, is it?
He's gone.
No,
Khalif?
Leaf Raymond.
Maybe.
DPJ.
Oh, they
Dude,
did
I
bring in.
think-
Yeah, yeah, he
His
might be
ass.
it.
I don't know if he's 3, but whoever their 3 is fucking useless.
No, they don't even run 3 wide
They're
receiver
so
forms most of
trading.
the time. Because they normally have Laporta, 2 receivers.
But if I had to bet why this number is like down here, I guess they don't really put players that much higher than this. But
What about this as a factor?
it's a hedge on Gibbs and
This is where G Dub is too.
really.
He's at 12, I think.
Flat? I thought he was 20.
I think
Okay.
it's flat.
Damn.
All right. Well, either way, he's around there.
That's
so
crazy.
it's like that's the threshold we're looking at.
Okay. I think that makes sense.
Another factor though, real quick. Last year, the Lions defense let up so many points that they were always in shootouts. Do we think that
They did just draft. Yeah, they did just draft 2
Yeah.
studs.
Carlton
Alright.
Davis, so
And
gonna
NC
make
Davis.
sure that shit gonna happen again.
NCD. Yeah, they rebolstered their D-backs, I think. I think it's a good point.
Yeah, that's true. I just think the 300-yard discount is, or the 300-yard deduction from last
what he did
season.
But
last
like,
year?
Yeah,
that's
it's-
every wide receiver. Like Tyreek's gonna have a 300 discount.
Yeah. I think a lot of it
Yeah.
is like factoring in the injury stuff.
true.
Like you probably just project every player to miss like 1 game a year kind of
Yeah.
thing. So like take out 80, 90.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, got that one settled. We can keep pushing the GOAT, the greatest.
29
With
and
Dude, I think
value.
it's the third most.
29 and a half in Tutter Stains for Jordan, 16-1. Love. The end of last season was truly magnificent until he threw 2 picks in the last 4 drives. But we ignore that.
you're
Damn.
taking the lower.
Really? Less value? Fade?
I love him. I legit picked them to win the Super Bowl, but I'm fading them.
Really?
The
Lower.
Packers to win the Super Bowl.
I'm also taking that.
Okay, 2 fades. What
Yeah,
do
I'll
you
go
got?
lower.
Lower. Okay.
Out of principle.
I feel like I'm the
But
only
it's
one.
also like telling us the lower is favored.
Yeah,
It's a
no,
0.9.
100%. I don't know what like the other books have, but I assume it's probably around 28 and a half.
Yeah, it's probably 28 and a half.
This is like these wide receivers still like. I feel like everyone now is like
Wicks.
in love with like everyone's like convinced Wicks is him.
he is.
Reed's
I
him.
think their receivers are fucking good. That's why.
Yeah.
Reed's legit.
There's still no like alpha though.
No.
Yeah.
But I think
This
that almost
is-
helps him from a passing touchdown standpoint, of where he can spread the ball out like a Mahomes.
Are you concerned with like because Christian Watson like when he was in there's like everyone's convinced the offense was dog shit when he was healthy that could be a thing again.
Yeah, because he's just mid. Don't tell Matt.
And also
I think,
LaFleur is just him.
Yeah.
I think Love and Watson like just didn't connect on a bunch of deep passes that were really close. And I
Wasn't
feel like if
Watson injured at preseason?
he was injured like all last year.
Yeah, so
was
I
just
feel like
doing a
that
bunch of
connection
research.
probably wasn't very there.
Yeah, I'm not really looking too much into Love Watson from last year. My only concern, I guess, would be maybe bringing Josh Jacobs in. Like he's going to get a ton of goal line carries in that
Has
offense.
0 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah,
Like, that's insane
is this his year?
that he gets his first one. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine the celebration that will go on? The rejoicement.
I think the wide receiver room in Green Bay is like what you're hoping for with the Chargers.
Yeah, sure.
It's like
Of,
none,
like, some-
none of
I
them are
would
like
love for that.
alphas, but they're all kind of like
Get it done, guys.
under the radar cool players.
Some
Like not
gadget
household
guys,
names,
yeah.
but like
It's so true. Quentin Johnson is like a shit version of C. Watt.
yeah,
Lad is like
He's
Jayden
Jayden
Reed.
Reed.
Yeah, that's
Josh
actually
Palmer,
nuts.
Dontavian Wick. Actually, Josh Palmer, I feel like is more like Romeo Dobbs. Who's their Wicks? Brendan Rice.
Brendan
There you go.
Rice
Oh, I
about to be
forgot he's in there. Go.
Yeah. But
All right.
no, I mean, I think another year with LaFleur should be.
For me, I'm taking the
this is just
value
too
at the
high.
higher of the 1x. I guess not much of a boost, but I think this offense is just going to be top tier. I could see them. I also don't really have that much confidence in their defense. They didn't really do much this offseason to wow me on
Did they fire that guy?
their defensive coordinator. Yeah.
Oh.
That was like 3
Was it
days
in-
after.
Oh, wasn't that? I thought that was in the season last year.
No,
I think they
No.
rocked it. What was his name?
I think they rocked with him through the playoffs.
his name was
Oh,
Something simple.
yeah, I should have known this.
Joe Barry.
Joe
Barry.
Barry.
Joe Barry, that makes so much sense. Yeah, that bot.
Simple.
Anyway, but what I'm saying is like going from like almost like a receiving scattish RB1 to Josh Jacobs. That would be the fear there.
Yeah, but Jones was also like not himself last year.
True. Until the end where he just had like 4 games of 100 yards.
Yeah, in the playoffs, he was him again.
So, but we're all kind of on the boat that like the second half of Jordan Love is what we feel confident he's closer to rather than the
100%.
first.
The first half, I think, was him
it's
adjusting.
like I could take the lower on this and still think very highly of Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same argument with Stroud, pretty much. Wouldn't
Sure.
surprise me whatsoever if he went over it, but
What if, just as a thought process, what if the second half of Jordan Love and the first half swapped? Would we be like
we'd
way
be
more
way lower on.
We'd be
Love
way
probably.
more concerned about him.
For sure. That's just how the NFL works. I feel like
All right, we'll do
But that's like unfair to be like,
it's probably the right way to look at it. But
we ain't
fuck-
gonna do it
but
like that.
fuck
But, like,
it,
yeah.
I don't know, because he was a guy that had so little reps in his career that I think it is unfair to look
Yeah,
at it that way.
maybe, yeah,
we got 2 more. DeAndre Swift. We got a bear.
lower,
Spicy,
So
higher.
fucking easy.
Yeah.
Last season, Miles Sanders was like right around this, and you said the under because like a rookie running back stat.
That wasn't me.
No, it was. Caruso told you, and then you told me, so I need you to pull that again. So I can remember.
Just,
Wait, sorry.
What would
So
Miles
Miles-
Sanders have
Miles-
Oh,
Yep,
yeah,
they
yeah.
have Cook.
I remember.
Cook.
Okay,
Cook.
so last year, Miles Sanders was at 850, and no running back went over that working with a rookie quarterback.
That's something like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was like one running back out of something. Like I think one guy might have done it, but it was like a very easy under. If you look at the past,
I mean, you also just look at DeAndre Swift.
I
and
was gonna
that's
say,
just-
yeah,
that's
they have a
I
lot
also
of.
think a lot of it was just.
Well, they
it was
can't read a
Miles
hole.
Sanders. Yeah.
Panthers were so
so many players back there. Like Swift will probably catch like 50 passes, be good for fantasy, but from a pure rushing standpoint, it ain't happening.
No.
It ain't fucking
And if
happening.
Brett has
here.
anything to say about Roshan to the moon.
That's a good point.
Facts.
He stinks.
But they also gave him like good money.
They gave him real
Miles
good
Sanders
money.
also got good money last year.
Good point.
Yeah. I wouldn't
Dude,
buy
He's
just-
also coming
when
off
in
a
doubt, just
1,200 yard
just
year
go
with
back
the
to Miles
Eagles.
Sanders.
Wow.
It's the same
Exact
fucking
same
lineup,
thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Miles had
We-
1,200 with Philly, went to dog
Lock
shit.
under.
Swift,
Lock
1,200.
under. Don't draft any DeAndre Swift. Where's he going in best ball?
Where was Miles Sanders going?
Uh,
there.
seven.
Miles was in the 5th.
Miles got up. I think
Miles-
Swift is actually around where Sanders started last year.
Oh, okay. So
Seventh,
six.
eighth. Yeah.
He'll get the hype.
He'll move up for sure.
He'll get the hype train. All right, we don't even need it. We can skim past that one. Michael Pittman, 1,000. Rapid fire. Let's just get through the last because I have a lot of these, so we can just rapid fire through these. Higher, lower.
I'm going higher. I think it's just.
I'm gonna go higher too.
I don't know about the volume, but I think just like talent wise, Michael Pittman's he's a 1,000-yard receiver, you know?
I'm going higher. Just got a big contract.
I think a few
Gonna be that
more
guy.
with a Rich, like he'll have more downfield shots
100%.
available to him.
100%.
Yeah.
I think I might fade.
All right, next.
Really?
Get out of here.
Wait,
Leave
let-
sacks.
You're taking all these lowers.
Why you faded? Hurry up.
Hey, Rich, I don't trust him,
Fair.
but I love him.
We have sack lines.
Lower.
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 I'm just not taking
This
a 15
is
sack
so
line.
high.
It is insanely high. That's why.
He's gonna hit
but
it,
it's
but I'm not
DJ
betting
Watt.
on it.
He is so good.
He tore his
that.
ACL, though, in like the wild card weekend or something.
Did he?
I don't know. I don't-
Oh, didn't he get hurt?
Yeah.
He got hurt. I don't know if it was an
ACL and they hurt
ACL
different,
tear.
No, was it not? It wasn't
It might have been a
Achilles or ACL?
sprain. It might have been like an MCL sprain.
He got seriously hurt on like week 18 or something.
You're right because I think he missed the playoffs, right?
Yeah, it was like the Steelers won the game, but it was like at what cost? Because
Yeah.
you lost TJ Watt going into playoffs.
MCL sprain, grade 2.
Le'Veon
Okay.
Bell type beat.
We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, Le'Veon
Oh,
Bell.
Was I telling you the stat, or maybe one of you is like only like 2 other players ever have gotten 15 sacks in 4 seasons, and the other one of the 2 was JJ Watt.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
he's gonna
was telling you
so
one of
match
you
his
that.
brother.
Yeah.
15 sacks in 4 separate seasons.
Yeah. I think it was JJ and like Lawrence Taylor.
He's so doing it.
I mean, To be fair though,
If
like
he hits 15, that's fine. We hit the lower.
Facts.
sacks, I also think sacks are a lot like touchdowns where they can kind of
It's volatile. For
yeah.
sure.
There's
They could
a
have
lot of
6 in one
volatility to it.
game at Khalil
Does he get
Sure.
to play Aiden O'Connell this year?
I don't know.
matchup?
I don't know if that matchup's there. All right,
just take it
rapid fire. Had 14 this season. Does he get better? Does he regress?
Lower. No
Lower.
Dan Quinn. That scares me.
Really?
I think that's a good point.
That makes me like him way more.
Dan Quinn as a DC.
The worst he did was like 7 and 9. It's like that's not bad as if that's your
I'm
worst.
taking
Considering
Parsons.
You've never really had like a franchise quarterback either.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm taking the Parsons higher on this.
Same.
I think he's just so an elite of a player who's going to break the 15
Oh, he hasn't
mark.
gotten paid yet either. has
Nope.
he?
This is a contract year for Parsons.
He might have 18 sacks next
That's
year.
why he's sitting out right now. He's in the OTAs.
Well, if he's going to get paid before, never mind.
Yeah.
He's going to fall off.
We'll see.
Keep this one bookmarked.
Yeah.
Week 1, he's not paid. We're going higher.
All right, fair enough. Baker.
Dog run faster.
Lower.
This is the last one.
Lower.
This is when we
Baker.
like anytime you like Baker is when he lets you down.
He'll
Yeah.
He's going for 3,600 lower.
All right, Tony,
No
end it
Dave
off.
Canales, not great. The OC that they brought in was
I would
Do we know?
correlate this under on him, under on Mike Evans.
All right, fair
Need
enough.
a stack.
That is 20 player props that we just hit the higher and lower on. Rapid fire. Let us know what you guys
Literally the opposite.
literally an hour long. Let us know what you guys are going to pair in the comments below. And we fired off like 10 things for you guys to comment. So comment something. Okay. Let us know.
Please comment.
And we'll
Please.
like, subscribe. We're on the road to 1K by the NFL season. And we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Would you rather be described as dusty or sassy?
Sassy.
Sure. Dusty's like personal.
Yo, that boy Dusty.
Dusty, that's like.
Sassy's like an attitude. Like Dusty's like you're gross.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, like it's like disgusting.
Would you consider being called sassy almost a compliment?
I can't wait to clip this. This is what I'm going to clip. Not even the actual
Would you
video.
rather be-